Hey folks, Fernando doing another video for the Modern Survivalist, and in this video I'm going to be answering some of the more common questions I've been getting lately regarding masks and specifically filters. Which filters are the ones you should be going for coronavirus, and also when do they expire, how do they expire, are they still good, what I should be looking for. So I'm going to be answering all that here in this video. So first of all, in terms of coronavirus, the CDC recommends N95 filters. That's a particle filter that's going to be filtering 95% of the particles, and you have different ratings. You have N95, you also have N99, which is filtering 99% of the particles. That's superior, and N100. The European standard is kind of similar. It's going to be P1, P2, and P3. P2 is going to be filtering 95% of the particles, so P2 is somewhat similar to your N95, and P3 is somewhat similar to your N100. It's not filtering 100%, but it's filtering like 99.97% of the particles, something like that. But anything above N95 or P2, that's going to be good enough for coronavirus. Now, filters are either filtering particles or vapors, and there's a big difference. It's not the same thing. When you have your typical, these are military type gas masks, as you probably can tell. This is your typical 40mm canister, nuclear, biological, and chemical filter. This is a 40mm canister because of the how wide this is. So 40mm, and this is a nuclear, biological, and chemical warfare type of filtering. This is going to be filtering both those vapors and those particles. This one is a little bit more modern. This is the one I wear. This is a general service respirator by Scott, and it has these two cartridges which give you more better flow of air. You have two filters instead of just having one, but it's in essence the same thing. What these do is filter both particles and vapors. So what happens is, and if you look a little bit closer there, you see that, let me see if it gets to focus. You see that white stuff there? That white stuff is like your car filter. That white stuff is your HEPA filter. That's high efficiency particle air filtration. That's going to be a particle filter. And then it's followed by something called activated charcoal. This filter, that one is pretty much the same thing. That activated charcoal is the one that's going to be filtering your vapors and fogs, some of these other things you want to get rid of. Now, people wondering, which one should I get, Fernando? Okay, I see that you have the military ones, so this is great. A 40mm canister NATO filter, fantastic general respirator. The the Avon M40 or 50. I'm going to be leaving links, guys, for you wondering what you can buy. I'll leave links so as to make it easy for you. And yes, it's from the affiliate program, so it leaves a couple bucks, and that's always appreciated. But I'll leave the links for what stuff is available in Amazon if you want to check it out there below. Now, so as to clarify things, because I understand it's still very confusing, you have those two. So it's going to be filtering particles, and it's going to be filtering vapors or fogs. It's not the same thing. A particle filter is somewhat similar to your N95 filter, which you've probably seen on TV all the time, this white cup in people's faces. That is like this paper stuff. That's only filtering particles. The charcoal is something that's going to be these vapors, this fog. It goes through the particle filter, and it just gets attached to those little bits of activated carbon. That activated charcoal does expire, and basically the entire filter expires. Now, one of the things that's quite interesting is that when you see a filter like that one or a filter like that one, it usually comes sealed airtight. The reason why it comes sealed airtight is not so much because of the particle filter, which is basically a material like your typical car filter, some white stuff, some white paper, sometimes it's fiberglass, but the activated charcoal is the one that's going to be absorbing humidity, stuff from the air, and it's going to be losing efficiency as time goes by. So yes, filters do expire, and they usually have an expiration date. This one is May 2025. Fantastic. This is great. Now, that doesn't mean that past the expiration date, that filter is not going to be working either. I'll give you another example. Here I have a Drager. These are German, this is a German manufacturer. It says Painter Agricultural Filter. Is this good enough for coronavirus? Well, let's check it out. If we look at what it says here, it says Explore 3300M, that's medium size, and it's plus A2P3. A2 is the vapor filter, like in your 3M filter. So it's A2, it's going to be filtering those vapors and fogs, and it's also a P3. Like I just told you, P3 is superior to your N95. So this is adequate for coronavirus. Something like this will be above the standards recommended by the CDC. As you see, the cartridge is also a plastic housing, very nice, and it comes sealed again, and it has an expiration date, 2026. So these sealed like that are perfectly adequate. What happens if you have something that it's past the expiration date? There's a good chance that even past the expiration date, 5, 10 years even, is still good enough. These have actually been opened. This is a S10 mask from 2008, and this one came with this filter. It's marked like it has been used for testing or training. And you know what? I actually tried this one in the bathroom using some very strongly scented deodorant. It didn't go through. This one, in spite of being open for all those years, clearly enough, the activated charcoal is still filtering those particles. The way it works is those little particles are just too small and just go through the particle filter. They get attached to that activated charcoal, and it gets stuck there and doesn't go through. Tested it, just works perfectly, not a whiff of scent of anything. Same with this one. This one has already been open for many years now. These filters came open already, and bleach, alcohol, none of those could I smell any of it while wearing this thing. So be careful. Yes, there is an expiration date. Yes, it's mostly affecting the charcoal part, the vapor filtering part, not so much the particle filter, but the particle filter can also degrade with time. It's kind of like a paper. It can get unglued on the side. And of course, don't buy the oldest, crappiest, mill surplus piece of junk you can find, because maybe even cockroaches have eaten through this stuff, and it's not filtering properly. But it's not so much of a black and white thing in terms of the expiration date of those filters. Okay, folks, keep that in mind. I'll leave a few links below in case you haven't bought already your gas mask and your respirators. Have an awesome day. See you on our next video. Take care.